I think an investment in Tesla is virtually all about Model 3, and Model 3, as they confirmed, is going to start production this month. That's a milestone that, 6 months ago, I think a lot of people didn't think they would ever hit. And so just the clarity of them starting to production, to me, was worth raising the price target. My valuation, I mean, obviously you have to look forward to justify valuation, but what I do is I value Tesla on 2020 numbers, where I think EPS can grow to like almost 20 bucks, and then discount that back to today.
Okay, so it's July 2017 now, and you're valuing Tesla in 12 months based on 2020 estimates. Aren't you giving them one big, giant benefit of the doubt there in terms of execution?
I mean, I am giving them some benefit of the doubt in execution, but I think, quite frankly, if you, I mean, you pretty much have to invest based on 2019-20 type numbers, because if you look at what the company's doing, they're putting in a massive amount of fixed costs right now to manufacture, exponentially more cars than they're currently making. And so to value it on today's numbers doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense.
You're assuming that if they build it, they will be bought.
Right. The bet is that that people will buy the cars. And so, the last checks, it looked like they had about 400,000 reservations for the Model 3. By our math, that means that their Model 3 production will be soaked up until mid-2019, just based on today's orders.
Further to Melissa's point about the distance to which you have to look in order for what you believe to become true is interest rates and rising interest rates. We see any stock that's got a very high multiple where their earnings are very far out in the future, when interest rates rise, those stocks pull back because there's so much uncertainty built in, and then you start to, your calculation as an investor is completely different the higher interest rates go. How nervous are you that we're really going to start to see interest rates rise? Because that's out of your control and ultimately hurts the case for investing in any stock with the kind of multiples that Tesla has.
Right, I agree. Well, I think higher interest rates can work against any and all stocks, or virtually all stocks. But I mean, this is a relatively special case where you've got a company, as I said, who's putting in the investments now for cars they're planning to make in the future. And so, I think you have to value it that way. I think just purely looking on today's numbers and saying, hey, they're losing money, wouldn't make a lot of sense. That said, I think the numbers, now that Model 3 is going to start into production, I think we will see the numbers get a lot better rapidly over the next, 8, 9, 10 quarters. I mean, I actually think that, that you've got a car, so the Model 3 is going to launch this year, do maybe, I'm looking for 16,000 units, so kind of a token early amount. But next year, I think they can produce over 250,000 of them, growing to over 400,000, growing to over 600,000 cars.
So can you tell me, Rob, what the sort of base case is, what the downside risk is in Tesla? I mean, if we take a look at the downdraft, it was down 7% yesterday, it's down 6% today. I mean, in a week, it's down something like 14%. I mean, this is a stock that can rocket higher, or it could really have a downdraft, which we're seeing right now. So can you tell me, what, this is the floor to the stock, because this is what the company is actually worth today. Right. What would that number be?
Well, again, I mean, I think it's worth today a function of what it's worth in what they can produce and the earnings they can make in several years, and discount that back. I mean, that's the only way to value this stock. It's frankly how you should value, I think, any stock. But to your point, though, I mean, it's a fair point. Tesla's a volatile stock because today's earnings are not what you're valuing on. So by definition, the stock can trade all over the place on the near term. I can't tell you where it's going to trade in the next couple of days. It was going straight up. I don't think its stock can just go straight up.
Electric cars, Rob, electric cars aren't for everybody. Any indication there's finite demand?
Yeah,
or this might be a fad. I love the cars, by the way, but is there any indication it could be like a fad for a couple 100,000 people and that's it?
Well, I think that does go to the ultimate the point, which is the question long term is there demand for hundreds of thousands and ultimately millions of electric cars? Yes or no? I think if you believe there is, then Tesla's in really good shape, and I think they're several years ahead of their competition. If it turns out the world doesn't want electric cars, then Tesla's not a good stock. But I think that is the ultimate question.
Hey there.
there. Thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.